is Webster from My Therapy Garden. We're playing the dirt, how to take away the hurt. Today, we're going to do some yard work in the front garden. Do some work in the front garden. But before we start working, just like to show you what the front garden looked like at this time. But the first thing I'm going to do is cut the grass. Okay, my lawn is looking terrible. I need to cut the grass a bit. And then I'm going to trim up my camellia that I have here in the front. But as you can see, the camellia start budding. So I won't be trimming it too hard. It's going to be just a light prune, just to cut off these stragglers that we have, just so tall, so just to give it a nice shape. So it's a light haircut for it. That way we don't lose too many flowers. Because this camellia, just like the other one on the other side, these are Yuletide camellia, and they flower in winter, right around Christmas time. So when there's nothing else flowering in the garden, I'll have beautiful red flowers right here at the front of my driveway. So I don't want to cut it too hard and cut off all the flowers. As we can see, we have the buds there. So I'll do a light pruning. Next is my gardenia flowering. Again, just a very light pruning, just to keep the shape a bit tighter. Italian cypress, they're good, so they need no pruning. So as we walk up, see my ginkgo biloba tree is getting big, reaching about 10 to 12 feet now. So I can't wait for it to fill out some more and get bigger. Many of you guys have been asking about my gardenia that we have up here against the house. Now, if you remember, in about February, when I did that garden tour here, these gardenias were looking really bad. They suffer winter burn. So they're just brown everywhere. There was nothing green. And I said at that time that we wouldn't prune it back because we'll give the plant a chance to recover, because Mother Nature knows how to take care of herself. And that's what I did. So you can look at the gardenia now, fill out nicely and blooming and blooming. So what we're going to do is just trim it. We're going to give it a nice haircut, keep it tight as we go into the winter, and also the boxwood that we have here at the front. I'm going to cut the boxwood here. Japanese maple, looking good. You know, she take care of herself. You don't have to do anything with these type of Japanese maple, Crimson Queen or Tamukiyama. My catmint, almost finished flowering, hanging over the walkway, so I'll just cut it back a bit. But look at the hydrangeas. They're just big and flopping over, covering the walkway. Love it. I don't use this walkway much, so it's no problem. And I guess love it when they come, you know, passing by the big, beautiful blooms that we have here. Look at this one. This is just awesome. These are Endless Summer. Endless Summer original. I like to keep them blue, but of course as they age, they take on more of a pink color. But you can see this is a new one coming up. Still purple. So hopefully I'll just keep adding the acidic compound that I have, so the blues will stay blue. And in the other garden I have some red ones, like some Summer Crush, which I'll just use the alkaline compound I have, so those can keep red. Okay, but the hydrangeas, they were late coming to the party because all through spring and early summer we didn't have much flower. but now they're flowering. And I think we'll have flower all the way till fall, because look at that, we're still getting bud on the top of these. So it might be late, and I think it's because of the late frost that we have that everything kind of set back a bit, which is so sad because now they're suffering through the summer. So you see the leaves getting that browning and the colors fade much faster and the plant is looking all leggy. But she's flowering, she's still healthy, so we like that. Okay, my wife planted a few coleus at the front here. My aster, flowering nicely. Aster flowering nicely. Potted plants in the back, doing pretty good. And all these potted plants I have out here right now, they just stay out here in the summer. By fall, going into winter, I take them back inside the house. So as we move around, we see we have some yaupon holly. I normally keep these tight as a ball and these as cones. So I'll be cutting these back so we'll have our balls and our cones again. Our roses, looking kind of sad, but roses tend to do that here in the summertime. The leaves start falling off as it gets so hot, but they still flower, and that's the beauty of rose. They still flower. And of course I have to get my topiary back in shape. This is a juniper, a julep mint juniper, which I'll get this back into that spiral shape. Of course, the Italian cypress there, we don't need to do anything for that. And the other julep juniper here, we'll get it nice and tight again in a nice topiary shape. All right, guys, so we got some work to do. So I'll start by cutting my grass, and then we'll start shaping our boxwood, our juniper, and the yaupon holly. This is going to be about 3 days work, guys. You know, it's just me doing it, but I'll show you the end result. See you later, guys. Guys, as you can see, it's now day 2 and I'm still working on it, so we'll just continue I'm pretty sure this will be a 3-day job because it's now evening and I'm still working on it. So we'll just take our time and keep working on it, and then I'll show you when it's complete. Okay guys, today is now the 3rd day of my project. I didn't think it would take this long, but it did. So we're gonna look at what we did in the last 3 days. Like we said, we would prune this camellia, which is a Yuletide. We weren't gonna cut it back too much because it had lots of bud on it, which is setting for that Christmas bloom. So we just lightly take some off the top. Of course, with Italian cypress, you don't have to do anything for it. And then we just make our way across the other side of the driveway. We can see the other camellia over here, same light pruning. Now it have lots of bud to give us that beautiful Christmas bloom. Later on, I think I'll cut back my gardenia. Once they actually finish blooming, I'll just clip them tight so they'll come back next spring, you know, in a tighter mound, and when they flower, should be nice and pretty again. Now we'll make our way up to the front garden. But let's just stop and look at this beautiful ginkgo biloba that we have here. And this is a male ginkgo, autumn beauty. And she's growing quite nicely. If you remember when we had it, it was maybe 4 feet. Now we're pushing 10, going 11 feet or so. And she's filling up nicely. Beautiful green leaves, which later on in the fall will give us that shocking yellow color. Now we go up to the front garden, and we can see where we clip our boxwood at the front. Japanese maple quite nicely. And this is a crimson queen. And in the back we have the gardenia. So we've been working on this gardenia to keep a nice wall of green to the back and to the front, and then we'll have the boxwood that line the front of it. So gardenia to this side and to the back, and the boxwood to the front. Nice tight clipping that we have going on here. And again, if you remember, in the winter, we suffered winter damage. It was just all brown from the frost. But she recovered nicely. We can prune her again. Looking good. Looking good. On the inside, we have our Japanese forest grass underneath our Japanese maple. And surrounding the Japanese lantern, we have some small mondo grass. Just finished pruning and we didn't pick up everything, but it's okay. We'll just get those up. I work on the spiral here. Not too bad, not too bad. And we'll continue working on it as it extends up to keep the spiral going all the way up. Our endless summer hydrangea to the front of the porch. It was just flopping over, so we opened it up a bit so we can still walk through it. Surprisingly, we didn't get a lot of bloom in the late spring, early summer, when endless summer usually bloom, but now we're getting the blooms from the hydrangea. I don't know, we're getting a reverse. This time we even have lots of buds on it. So we should be getting bloom all the way to frost. So I'm glad that the hydrangea still bloom. We can enjoy that. Even though it's pretty much end of summer now, we're actually in fall. The yaupon holly, I just clipped like 3 of them. Still need to work on it on this side because we have the yaupon holly there, which we have to work on some more, but we finished a few of them here. I didn't want to wait too long to show you guys the end result. But that's the yaupon holly in ball and in conical shape. The flower here is aster, and that's the New England aster. Coleus that my wife put along the front here. And all these ball or topiary that we have here to the front on this side are all yaupon holly. On the other side is boxwood. So these are all yaupon holly that we have here. So if you want to try any of these, yaupon holly will work, especially if you have boxwood blight, or any other disease that might affect your boxwood. You could always try yaupon holly. Yaupon holly, you have to make sure you always clip them though, because if you cut them too low and you start having the woody section, like in this one, it takes a while to fill back out. Where boxwood will recover quickly, yaupon holly is very slow. So you want to trim your yaupon holly often so you don't cut it into the woody section, because it takes a while to fill in. Okay guys, so there we look at the front garden as we do some work on it, cutting back the boxwood, the gardenia, the yaupon holly, and of course to work on our topiary right here with julep mint juniper. Get that spiral shape going, and it took longer than expected because of course gardening is not my full-time job, so I have to live a life in between gardening, so it takes a while. But we're getting there, and the temperature is cooling down now as we enter the first week of autumn. So there'll be more time to work on shaping up my evergreens going into winter. You like this video guys, please give it a thumbs up. Questions, comment, please drop a line down below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss our program. From my garden to yours, this is Webster. From My Therapy Garden, where playing the dirt helped me to take away the hurt. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next video. God bless. See you soon. Love you. Bye-bye now.